Hello, folks. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon to Leanne Live. Today, I have a great pleasure to interview somebody that I've been wanting to interview for quite a long time now. And you may recognize her. Let me introduce you to Miss Nicole Masseque.
Hello.
Nicole, thank you for joining me today on Leanne Live. Now, folks, Nicole Masseque just happens to be a very good friend of mine. We've been friends and buddies for 20 years. And she lives in Sydney, Australia, and she's just recently married to a groovy musician, Mr. Bariesh, and has an amazing young man, Declan. And Nicole is a digital business owner, and she's also been in, do you class it as corporate executive at the university? But anyhow, you know what, Nicole, how about you share a little bit more about us? What was life like for you before you actually became a digital business owner? Yeah,
Yeah,
let's,
sure.
let's start
So,
there.
so thanks for having me.
My
And
pleasure.
I'll take us back a little bit. So, I was an executive at Macquarie University in Sydney. And so used to look after lots of different departments, all the fun ones like student engagement, accommodation, all these fun sorts of things. And then my son got really, really sick, and really, like, how sick he was. I was juggling looking after him and trying to be at all these medical appointments, and it didn't work. And so I actually stopped working at the university and looked after my son full time. Little did I know, or I probably had a bit of an inkling that I needed to keep doing something to look after me. And so when I finished working at the uni, I had plans to do some volunteer work and keep myself busy and active in the community, because I'm a very social person and I get my energy from talking to people. And then, of course, it was March 2020 and the world changed. So I got quite stuck in looking after my son and my son's health. Absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. However, I lost me.
Yeah.
And I recently have looked at like some interviews you have done and some photos that we took in like 2019, the beginning of 2020. And like I was looking at this picture, and most people would say it's a really beautiful picture, but like I look at this woman and she'd lost herself and she didn't know how to fix what was going on with her son, and we still can't fix what's going on with Declan's health. But I lost my passion for everything. I lost me. I lost my energy. And people now would be like, what do you mean? And I go, but I was going to appointments. I was doing what I had to do. And I forgot how to dream. I forgot how to get excited about things. Like I really just felt I was holding on with my fingernails, and that's all I had left. Yeah.
So I know that was such a hard time in your life. I remember that still. Yeah, absolutely. It's and I'm sorry you had to go through that. That was a really hard period in your life. Nicole, so what was the turning point for you that you thought that you needed to start a digital business? I mean, where do you go from there? Like, what was...
Yeah. So I was actually coming to the ends of like my sort of savings and things, really. And I was like, okay, well, I need to get a job. I need to work. And I actually went and had an interview. Like I was sort of being headhunted by someone, and I went and had an interview, but it was traveling an hour each way. And like at the time, my son was going to like at least 1 or 2 appointments every single day of the week. I'm like, how do I How do I give up giving him as much support as he needs? But then how do I also find something that A, gives me purpose, and B, gives me finances? And then at like 11 o'clock at night, you had actually sent me a link to the webinar quite a long time beforehand, 12 months, whatever.
That's all right.
And because I just thought, oh, what's Leanne gotten into when she sent it? And I'm like, you do you, that's fine. Being friends for 20 years, everyone likes to do their own sort of thing. Yeah. But like at 11 o'clock one night, I'm like, I'm just going to check this out, because my head was going to explode. It was like, I don't know how I can work full time, get Declan to what he wants to, and like just make a living. Little did I know that watching that webinar would change my life completely.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So 11 o'clock at night, I watched this webinar, and I'm like, I got this fire inside me. I was like, oh gosh, I think I can do this. And then it's not, I think I can do this. I think I'll be really good at this. And, you've got to remember at the time, I wasn't this Nicole. I was the Nicole that forgot herself. I was the Nicole that was just...
You were battle worn.
Yeah. It was like I was scarred, because I'd been going through my son's illness for a few years, and it just was a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sure I could hear Leanne screaming from the other part of town when I got to... I was actually meant to see Leanne the next day, and I wanted to talk her face to face before I paid for everything. And it's like, and then their household was sick. Like, what? So I couldn't go and see her face to face. However, I live half an hour away from Leanne. I think I could hear her screaming when I told her. I couldn't wait any longer, because once I made that decision, I wanted to get going.
And you did too. You jumped on in there with the training and everything.
Yeah. So I signed on up. I checked out for things. Within a week, I'd had my coaching call. I had all my paperwork in, and I was ready.
Yeah. And you've been rocking it since then, girl. Like, it's just wonderful to see the joy and the spark come back. And so, Nikki, can I just say, what is your strong why? Obviously, like from your back the story, like I know your strong why, but there is another why that you're doing this business, isn't there?
Look, there's actually a few. Okay, so the first part is to make sure that my son can get the help that he needs. So that's through finances, but also through my time. So I need that flexibility. And I also am dreaming about my future. So I am also dreaming when my son is healthy, my husband's kids are all grown up as well, and Berriesh and I can travel the world, and we can sing and we can dance, because that's just what we like to do. We can run our businesses from anywhere. And the thing is, our businesses help people. And that is what drives me. I don't want anyone to go through what I've gone through.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to feel so low that, you're trying so hard to help your children not give up, but sometimes it's hard for you not to give up too.
Yeah.
And we can help people with that.
Yeah.
We can help people anyway, that's why I do what I do, because I want to help people help themselves. I don't want to give out things because if I just give money away or do something like that, that doesn't help people learn and help people grow and help people be self-sufficient. And that's exactly what I want to do, and that is so much of what I do and what you do is all about.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
be a world changer. Nothing.
Well, just a little thing, just a world changer.
Yeah.
Nicole, so you've been in business now for what, a year and a half, coming up to 2 years. What's the biggest transformation? I can tell everybody what the biggest transformation, because I got the pleasure of experiencing that with you. But for
Yeah.
you, what was the biggest transformation that you've experienced?
So the biggest transformation, the absolute biggest, is finding me.
Mm.
It is knowing that I am good enough. It is knowing that I have amazing talents to share with people. And like I'm not doing it out of any selfishness or any pride or anything, but I genuinely want to see other people succeed. And throughout my lifetime, I've had an amazing career, and that I shouldn't be afraid to share that. And, particularly in the last few months, like I just feel like I've stepped into a whole new thing of I know who I am. I know what I love doing. Like, so I work as well as do this business. And I love that sort of balance. Like I'm finding new balance every single day. And yeah, it's remembering what I love and sharing it with everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
That's what I think anyway. You can give another opinion if you like.
No, I just seen the light come back on, and I really have. And I just love how that this business has also been a bit of a stepping stool for other things that have happened in your life as well, which is just fantastic. I can hear my daughter calling
I
me
can
in the
hear it
background
too.
where she's not happy with what she's doing. So I am going to finish the our interview today. But Nicole, is there anything that you'd like to add before we finish up right now?
Yeah. So Leanne sent me the link 12 months before I looked at it. Do you know what? It wouldn't have cost me anything to look at it 12 months before.
But I did
I
want to do
might
that.
not have acted on it, but I say just look at it. So I would highly recommend for people to check out like Leanne Live, check out the webinar. I always say knowledge is power. So become a powerful person and check out the webinar. And if it's for you, fantastic. And if it's not, that's okay. You've
Yeah.
learned something.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
Leanne's pretty awesome. So,
Apart
she'll get you
from that,
going up and running. And you're never, ever alone. I love this global community that we're in as well. And, if Leanne's busy or I'm busy, there's someone else. If I'm up at 2:00 in the morning for some reason, which sometimes I am, I can chat to my friends in Canada or Hong Kong. And, there's always something on. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
Well, folks, there you have it. Digital business is just, it really is. You make it what you need it to be for you. When everybody comes into this program that we have, you develop your own branding. So my business is different to what Nicole's business will be. However, there is one amazing culture that stays true, and that is a culture of giving, a culture of teaching each other and supporting each other as we run our own digital business. And I just thank you so much for joining me today, Nick. And I'm really proud of the journey that you've taken. And thanks for spending time with me today.
Thank you for everything.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. All right, I'm going to go and find out what's wrong with my little darling. And yeah, we'll see you all again soon. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.